Hello everyone, happy Thursday. Coming up on the Burley show for you this afternoon. Some of the topics you might be interested in will include cycling. 70% of cyclists say they don't feel safe on our roads. Drivers say that's because you behave inappropriately. Want to know your thoughts on that. In addition to that, we're going to be talking about Danny Baker. What was that tweet all about? He's been sacked. Should he have been? And dog napping. We are a nation of dog lovers. Apparently, the number of dogs being stolen for reward has increased significantly. Let me know your stories. You can use the hashtag. Hello everyone, happy Thursday. Coming up on the Burley show for you this afternoon. Some of the topics you might be interested in will include cycling. 70% of cyclists say they don't feel safe on our roads. Drivers say that's because you behave inappropriately. Want to know your thoughts on that. In addition to that, we're going to be talking about Danny Baker. What was that tweet all about? He's been sacked. Should he have been? And dog napping. We are a nation of dog lovers. Apparently, the number of dogs being stolen for reward has increased significantly. Let me know your stories. You can use the hashtag.
The BBC this morning said that's not acceptable. If you don't know what it was about, join us at the top of the hour. If you do, you can send me a tweet directly at Burley using the hashtag TKBS. Let us know what you think about what he did. All of that coming up. Before that, though, dog owners are being urged to keep a close eye on their pets, with new figures revealing the number of canine companions stolen in the UK having risen for the fourth consecutive year. Almost 2,000 dogs were stolen across the country in 2018. That's a lot. And most owners don't get a happy ending, with only 17% of pups returned to their owners. To combat this worrying trend, there's some simple measures that can be put in place to keep dogs safe. You want to know a little bit more about what those are, won't you? Because let me tell you, having lost my dog being stolen, thankfully I got him back safely, one of the 17%. But what do you do to try to make that happen? RSPCA Dog Welfare Officer Amy Oakleford is here with Sammy. Hello, Sammy. Tell me about Sammy first.
So Sammy is 14 years old. He's a rescue dog. He was found abandoned, and he has been my dog now for 6 years. And he comes into the RSPCA office every day and is very, very spoilt. I cannot imagine. I lost him for about an hour in the woods once, and it was the most horrendous feeling in the world. So the thought of...
Does it happen? And who does it? And how do you get them back?
It's so difficult to understand why people would steal dogs. I think
them just people who want to make monetary gain out of them. How do they get hold of them, and how do you try to make sure that doesn't happen?
So there are some really easy steps you can take to try and just always have a close eye on them.
That's easier said than done.
Can be easier, up to date. Make sure they're wearing a collar that's got your identification. Yep. But there are a few steps you can take.
Because, as I said, my dog was stolen. It was the not knowing. I didn't know if he was injured. I didn't know if he was dead in a hedge somewhere. I didn't know whether he's being held against his will. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, it's just, I can't even imagine how awful it must be for families. With the value of these pets, and particularly the campaign, everybody is aware of what's going on, and get your dog's face out there, because we have heard amazing stories of dogs turning up.
But only 17% are found.
It's
That's
so
a
sad.
terrible statistic.
So sad to think that that's how few are showing up. And my concern is that because of
improve the recall, I wish. And things like I never understand why people leave their dogs tied up outside a shop. I mean, seriously.
So it's so easy to be longer than you thought you were going to be, and it's such a public place, you know, particularly with friendly dogs. I mean, my dog would go off with anybody quite happily,
as we saw,
as we saw earlier. He would wander off with anybody, and I would never leave him tied up outside a shop, because it only takes a few seconds for someone to unclip your dog and walk off.
Okay. And presumably you get dogs that have been lost or stolen as well. So they should come, they need to come to you, or what do people do if they think that you might have their dog?
Yeah, we take in...
Thank you so much for bringing Sammy in. He's as good as gold. He's my... Yes, you are. You are my new favourite dog on the sofa. Maybe that's a new hashtag we should use. It's good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Thanks a lot. That's Sammy. He's about 14, and he is a very handsome boy. Make sure your dog is microchipped, and if he's stolen, then hopefully you'll be able to be reunited with him. Danny Beckham, he's lost his job. Stay tuned. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult for the team to find it if I'm in the studio and I can't look at the tweets. So we've got a new hashtag that if you use, we're going to be talking about mistakes. We're going to be talking about David Beckham, who has lost his licence for 6 months. Also going to have a dog on the sofa. Plus, more Russian meddling, this time in Montenegro. 2 Russian spies for driving while using his phone. So his Bentley will be in the garage, I should say, for the next 6 months. Quite a big mistake. Have you ever made a mistake? Often embarrassing when you make one at work, but someone at the Reserve Bank of Australia has had their mistake reprinted 46 million times after the latest $50 note was printed with a typo. While printing a speech made by the first female member of the Australian Parliament, the RBA misspelled responsibility, forgetting to add an I at the end of the word, or certainly towards the end of the word. The organisation said the error would be fixed in future runs, but for now, 46 million of the new notes are in use right across the country. Notes still valid as currency, but it's good to reminder to always check your spelling. I think they probably need an I in just about there. Quick look at the weather. We've managed to get hold of Danny Baker after he was sacked by the BBC for a tweet comparing the royal baby to a chimpanzee. Find out what he had to say. Cyclists, they saw posting an image of the new royal baby as a chimpanzee. Said he couldn't see what was wrong with that. Then when it was pointed out to him, he immediately took down the tweet. He's been sacked by the BBC. Tweet me directly, let me know what you think about that. Use the hashtag TKBS, the Kay Burley Show. Let's take you up to Scotland to hear from 6-month driving ban. So that Bentley's going to be staying in the garage for the next 6 months, unless somebody else drives it for him. 6 months driving ban for David Beckham for using his phone behind the wheel. Meantime, new figures show there's been a big jump in the number of single women and those in same-sex relationships using IVF and sperm donors to conceive a baby. The report from the Human Fertilisation and Embryology Authority also found treatments for surrogates rose by more than 20% between 2016 and 2017. In 2007, 350 IVF treatments were for single women with no partner, but this jumped to nearly 1,300 in 2017. With us, hello, is Daisy, and she's very kindly brought her mum along with her. Mel Johnson, hi.
Hi.
So tell me about Daisy.
So, it's on motherhood, and that's just something I didn't want to consider. So,
okay. How challenging was that? What is it that you...
There was just no turning back, and now, I mean, look...
Or sort of Mr. Right now rather than Mr. Right for you.
Well, and I think, hopefully I'll meet someone... You're into everything, aren't
Stand
you?
up then. There we go. You've just started to walk, have you?
There you go.
Yeah, there
a little
you
bit
go.
shy.
Yeah, that's okay. She's fine.
So yeah, it's been amazing, and it's strengthened the relationship with my mum. And I find it a really good mix between being a mum and working. So,
okay.
And part of my work is coaching other women, which is my passion.
Yeah. There's just a little gap there. I just need to keep an eye on her.
Come on.
Come on, then, God. Yeah, I know. Well, thank you for coming down and talking to us. Thank you. There we go. Up we go. Bye. Bye. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes here on the Kay Burley Show. Stay tuned.